In other news tonight, a Whitman County teenager is now facing a felony charge after police in neighboring Lewiston, Idaho say he called them half a dozen times to report fake emergencies. But as KREM 2's Shannon Mowdy found out, police tell us this went far beyond simple prank calls. Shannon.
The suspect in this case is a 15-year-old boy from Garfield, but the fake emergencies with very real police responses he is accused of causing go far beyond the borders of Washington. What you're hearing is a real 911 dispatch from June 19th. Lewiston officers called out.
For a possible kidnapping. St. Joe's also.
A man barricaded in a hospital bathroom with a hostage and a gun.
Advising that he's kidnapped a 5-year-old child. He says he's cut the child.
Prompting a very real response
PR is clear in lockdown.
to what Detective Sergeant Nick Eiler says turned out to be a fake emergency.
So we had to search the entire hospital while it was on lockdown to make sure that this was not something that was actually going on.
It's called swatting, calls designed to elicit a law enforcement response. Eiler says the 15-year-old Garfield boy behind this call also made half a dozen others to Lewiston police in 3 days. And he wasn't alone.
That's part of their joke or prank, is them listening to kind of the aftermath.
Lewiston detective Zach Thomas tracked down online accounts that busted the boy and numerous accomplices. Turns out this was a nationwide swatting ring. Detective Thomas was able to connect the Garfield teen to calls made to police across the country, from Washington and Oregon to Louisiana, New York, Hawaii, and Michigan.
They also did a swatting call to a department in Texas and reported a school shooting.
Eiler says the group also used sound machines to stage gunshots, in one case leading a dispatcher to believe she was witness to a suicide.
And she is just beside herself. She's crying, she's upset, and that causes so much trauma on our dispatchers. And then to have it not be real.
The calls may be fake, but Eiler says the consequences are very real. That includes the felony the Whitman County teens now facing for falsely reporting bombs outside Lewiston's police department. Others in the swatting ring are likely looking at charges in their jurisdictions. Detective Thomas shared the results of his exhaustive investigation across the country.
But, end of the day, worth it. Because these people that do these calls need to know there's accountability. Because it is kind of a running joke in these groups or these chat rooms that law enforcement doesn't respond to these things and doesn't have the time and resources to go run them down. Maybe this helps kind of put that myth to bed.
And how did Detective Thomas track down these hoaxsters? Well, Eiler says it was just good detective work and massive amounts of subpoenas and warrants, an online rabbit trail that took a lot of effort. Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.